tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes, that is it, my friends. Season 7, Episode 2, After Show Review. Here of Shark Tank on AfterBuzz TV. I am Cameron Lewis at The Only Cam Chef, Twitter and Instagram. With me, the normal panel. Let's start introductions down there with James tonight.
Whoa!
Flipping the script.
Oh my God! I didn't know what to say to myself. Hi, I am James Lott Jr. You can follow me now at James Lott Jr. everywhere in the godforsaken world.
That's right.
I have changed. Black Hopple is dead. It's now James Lott Jr. on Twitter and everywhere else.
Wow, really? You just kind of made
Bye-bye.
All right, that's cool.
Brand
Wow.
rookie. Bye-bye.
I'm Chris Howard. You can follow me at Chris Howard Live on Instagram and Twitter, and LegendaryLivingDaily.com for tips, motivation, that type of stuff, as well as LegendaryLivingTV.com for YouTube.
Zoe Hewitt.
You can find me at Zoe Said What on Instagram and Twitter. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting.
Do you have a movie review up this week?
I do. This week
Which
I
one?
watched Miracles from Heaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to see if a movie that is so clearly religiously based
Yes.
could hit the mainstream. And the answer is actually, unfortunately, no.
Who was in that?
Jennifer Garner and Queen Latifah, both of whom I love.
Okay.
I like both of them.
Yeah.
too.
I'm actually in the original Queen Latifah movie fan club.
How funny.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I really am.
Oh, how funny is that? Okay.
Facts that you didn't know about me.
Are there like 2 of you or
So
something?
let me
There's
just
like 6 of us. We watch movies every month.
Let me just
We've been
start
there for
by
like 2
saying, if y'all hear the hum in the podcast right now or on YouTube, that is actually the microwave we use to heat up the Custard Stand Hot Dog Chili.
Yes.
That was kindly sent to us by the Custard Stand Hot Dog Chili folks from a couple episodes back, and I thought we could try some on the air real quick. Oh, James is already ahead of
This
the
is
game.
one
What
of
the
the
hell?
products.
Screw you people.
Screw you people. Now, to be fair, this is supposed to be eaten on hot dogs, right?
It can be eaten any way you want to.
It says on hot dogs, but...
But I think it'd be good on, like she was saying before the show, like on pasta, because you go to the Midwest, they're like Skyline chili, Gold Star chili, they put it on pasta.
Oh, really?
They're
do.
just delicious, you guys.
Yeah, you can put this on anything. That's actually pretty darn good.
While we keep eating this and talking about, let me just say, episode 22 tonight, Beer Blizzard, Vengo, The Good Promise, and Wonderside. Yeah, I'm a fan of this, I think.
It's delicious.
It would be...
Spretz is busy talking about the original Queen Latifah fan club. I love it.
Spretz,
in
which
there
was
too?
on a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonder Show, yeah.
So Spretz was the
The spritz.
Brett
Spritz with Spretz.
Brett freshener and
Yes.
Yeah.
So hi,
Yeah.
hi Tony.
Breath and
and
hand.
freshener.
Yeah.
right, which we're all going to need after this.
After
Yeah,
this,
right.
yeah.
Before
Sorry, Cam's next to me.
we start, is a big shout out to what is that? Harrell Sore?
I don't know where
Harrell
we're
Sore
looking.
from
Oh.
iTunes. HARALCOR from iTunes. They said 5-star review. One of my favorite panels on any podcast. Lots of fun.
Anywhere in the world?
Each time of anywhere
That's
in the
awesome.
world. Thank you very much for the iTunes review.
That's awesome.
If I'd have to give a star rating to the chili, it'd be 5-star.
Me too. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
It's
It
delish.
is good.
Thank you, Custard Stand, for sending that along. We'll recommend it to a friend. So let's start. What better thing to pair with chili than beer? Beer Blizzard. They were seeking 100K for 20% in the tank. All right, just felt a little bit of the spice start kicking in. So
Yeah.
I had like 3 full spoonfuls there. What do we think of Beer Blizzard? First thought, Zoe.
I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
I like the concept. I was curious about how it cools the beer with just the cooler
Just
sleeve.
a thing, yeah.
But otherwise, yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
you like it?
Yeah.
Okay, Chris Howard?
I kind of stayed open as I was listening to it because it does seem to me very odd that it could cool the entire beer, especially as quickly as they were putting it on for the demonstration and stuff. It's like, well, how's that going to make that cool? They had to have the thing on, the what do you call it? The Snuggie?
The
Cozy.
koozie.
Cozy.
Koozie.
Koozie,
Yeah, yeah.
the koozie, the beer koozie
Koozie or
on.
cozy?
I call them koozies.
I thought it was a cozy.
Cozy.
I think it's a.
Oh.
All right,
Maybe it's
you
a-
say
maybe
koozie,
it's
we
a
say cozy.
woozy.
A woozy. But you have to have the cozy koozie
Yeah.
on the beer at the same time that you have it. So, and they said that they hadn't run the tests without it. So that
Right,
was kind
that's
of
what
a.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about that. So I'm
Which
kinda
is
up in the
interesting
air.
because they sent it to a third-party
Yeah.
testing facility and they
so-
didn't do it either.
by
which
a
is
third
interesting.
party, and they seem so very clear that they wanted it stated that it was like this was a real test done by a third party
Yeah.
provider, and you know.
Well, that's a big deal.
Well, it is a big deal, except for the fact that they didn't test just the koozie on its own without the
Right.
Little generator,
Yeah.
and so that's the problem that I found. Yeah.
Test all the
It's
pieces.
a neat idea. The guys were cool. Ozzy and Mike, they're
Yeah.
cool couple of redneck guys. That was neat.
I thought they played that up.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
they were.
definitely playing that up.
Because, okay, as a person who is from Pittsburgh and has homes there,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there are some rednecks there, I guess, but I mean, they both had high-profile jobs. And
Exactly.
they completely were playing it
Yeah.
up. They're completely playing it up, which is fine. Whatever, it's fine. They do in Pittsburgh, which they're correct. There's a lot of beer drinking there. To rust
Yeah.
and believe.
Really?
Yes, a lot of beer drinking in cans, and especially because right there in downtown Pittsburgh, there's PNC Park, Mellon Arena, and Heinz Field, like all right. I mean, 3 major sports centers right there, and the whole town is into the sports.
Yeah.
So a lot of beer drinking. So this is something I could see for Pittsburgh. Totally, I can totally see it. I just wish they I forgot who brought it up. It's something that could be used universally, like except for like soft drinks. And things.
You know, I agree to I forget which one of the guys said this
Yeah.
point though, but I agree with the point that you don't often see people carrying like a soft drink in one of these. Do
You
you?
don't, but I'm seeing it more and more now. There are a lot of people who
Right.
don't drink anymore and who do drink Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, a lot of diet drinks. I see that sometimes at games. And I can see, I mean, it's what is it business-wise? I see it could be totally this big thing because it's like there's so many uses for it. A lot of canned goods that want to stay cold.
What was interesting was and you brought it up with the game, the whole game concept, because I remember thinking that's one place like maybe Mark could use it at games,
For licensing.
the Mavericks, and
Yeah.
to have it licensing at different stadiums and that type of thing.
Yeah.
I saw a potential entry for that, but and I thought it might be good for Lori. I thought maybe one of those two, but.
Well, she mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond, which we know she loves BBB. And so do I.
I mean, who doesn't?
Triple B effect.
I love the Beyond part of the store.
Yeah, that's
and
my
this
favorite.
is something that completely could go into the Beyond part of the store. Like I can see it at in line as you're
At
getting
the
up.
checkout thing,
Exactly. Or at the door. Like at the door, they have things that are on there. I can see that. It's totally one of those kind of products.
What was the price point? I forget the price point.
It was
Inexpensive. I don't have it written down, but I want to say
40
something
bucks
like
or something?
$3.99.
Oh,
Wasn't it really inexpensive?
Yeah, I
Why
think
is
it
that
was.
sticking in my head?
I feel like it was fairly inexpensive. I don't have a number written down.
Me
for that.
either.
I don't
Maybe
know
we
if I
never
ever
got a
mentioned
number.
it.
Maybe I'm
Maybe
just
we didn't
making
get
it
one.
up.
Yeah, we didn't get one.
I love the intention behind this product,
me
right?
too.
Because I have been to many, as I'm sure you guys have too, summer barbecues and things like that, where you open that Coors Light, Zoe, and 5 seconds in it gets warm. That's a bummer, right? But for me, there's too many pieces here, because you have the koozie, you have these discs you have to then freeze. So for one beer, you have to get the beer can, you have to get the koozie, you have to go get the disc out of the freezer. I feel like there's too many pieces. And really, when it comes down to it, are you even going to have a beer out for that long?
That's my next question. No,
For
seriously, that's
22
my-
minutes, right?
get your beer bong out. Yeah.
21 minutes.
I'm like, I don't know anybody who drinks beer that slow.
I'm just saying. I think I could. I'm pretty sure I could just down 1 in 6,
Right.
as they say.
Right. Because like wine, you sip wine. Whiskey and stuff, you sip that kind of stuff. I'm like a martini, yes, but beer, I see always people pounding beer. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. I do feel torn because I love the product.
Yeah,
I
but
just
you
feel-
might sip on your beer if it stayed cold the entire time.
Oh,
Okay,
there's that was the voice of God by
Yeah,
the way.
it's
James
Exactly.
right there in the booth.
The other
James
James.
right there.
Well, that's a point. I mean,
Yeah.
but someone did bring a point though. Indoor games, a lot of times they don't use cans. They use like fountain drinks and stuff like that.
You know, to be fair, if they did licensing and they had it where you could purchase it with the beer at a game where it's all done for you and it's
Okay.
got the little cooler on it, I could imagine people paying a premium for that and then plugging their beer into it.
I don't know. Because the other thing is, so let's say you drink your beer over that 21 minutes,
Right.
and then you want another beer.
Yeah.
Well, what do? Your thing is warm.
Yeah.
Right? So
Always.
I feel like, isn't your best option then, I suppose, to keep drinking your beer and let's say, so it stays cold for 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say you take 7 minutes. So then you could just like keep them
Wait,
back
how
to
long?
back. I'm just saying you could keep them back to back so you'd be
But
able
what
to
it does,
get
let's say
more
like
out of
7.5 minutes.
it. So you could get 3 beers, for instance, out of one thingy. One
Right. No, I
chip
see.
or
Right.
pod. I don't know what to
One
call
pod.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you call
Disc,
that?
I think they
Yeah,
call them.
disc.
Oh, disc, yeah.
But then the
that
question
makes
is, how
sense.
long does it take to cool the beer once it's put on?
Well, and I think
that's
that you
the-
made a good point
Yeah.
about it's only
like-
cold in the bottom part. Like, I have
Right.
one of those party drink, well, I cannot think of anything to
No,
party drink dispensers, and it has a center
Like with a
piece.
spout.
Yes,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
has
yeah.
a center piece
With
where
the
you can
ice.
put ice.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is
Oh.
that anything that's right next to the ice is cold, but anything else, because
Oh.
it's a really big
Yeah.
pitcher, it doesn't get cold.
Right.
Because how would it? You'd have to circulate the
Oh.
drink. Which, I mean, there's no pump, it doesn't circulate.
Right.
So that's the same issue with this, right? That maybe the beer at the very bottom is cold.
Yeah, that would
But
really be
maybe
what I would
because it's so small, you just swish it and then that
Yeah,
fixes your
I
issue.
think that the koozie, had the koozie not been there,
Right.
it wouldn't work.
Right.
Because the
'cause it
koozie
keeps
keeps
it-
the
yeah.
temperature
Right.
kind of the same. So when
Yeah.
you have koozie, it kind of
distributes it.
distributes it.
There
That
you
is
go.
good. Thank you, Chris
Yeah,
Howard.
anytime.
I'm so glad everyone can't talk tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the chili.
I think it might be chili. But I wish that this was just one thing. I don't know that it would make much sense that way, but I when you have to collect all these pieces to do one thing, I
It's
don't
2
know.
pieces.
Well, I mean, but it's
To me, it's
three
more than
including
one,
the
more
beer.
than
thing.
one.
Oh, they're happy to collect the beer.
That's true.
I don't think the beer
But
counts.
if the koozie and the disc were permanently attached to one another, would it take up more space? Yes, but I feel like I'd be more apt to buy it.
Well,
I
you might be able to do
I
that.
agree with that, actually.
Have like a little gel pack in the bottom.
Well, Joe,
The-
yeah, maybe
yeah.
there's something like that. Yeah.
I
You,
agree
Then,
with that.
but
Yeah.
then your hand would be cold because this cozy.
I'm
I
okay
can't get
with it.
behind koozie. I don't know what it is. Every time you guys say it, I'm distracted by like, what is a
you
koozie?
call it a cozy?
Yes.
I don't think it's a cozy.
I think it's a cozy.
I think
Really?
it's a cozy,
Really?
like a tea cozy.
Yeah.
That's what you
You
put
said
over.
cozy?
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Call it a
I'm going to
koozie.
look it up. We'll see.
Koozie
Like a
is
phone
like
cozy.
Like what,
a tea
jacuzzi?
cozy.
koozie
Like,
just,
like
a
your beer is
jacuzzi.
going swimming
A
in there, so it's a jacuzzi.
just sounds cooler, gang.
Now, Fancy Stat says that
Yeah.
the cozy fabric also keeps your hands off the easy
Exactly.
temperature transferring.
Which is what you guys are
Oh,
saying.
Yeah.
right. It keeps your hands from making
Oh,
the beer
Because
warming.
warm.
Brett was wondering what the cozy was made of. He was wondering
Yeah.
what they made of that does make the beer warm.
So that
Neoprene,
keeps
I
you from
assume.
getting too cold.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
You guys, how did no one laugh at my jacuzzi koozie boat joke?
I like
No, I,
it.
kinda, I was
I
going
liked
with it.
it.
I was,
I
I didn't
so
quite
said
know what
chicken,
was
okay.
funny about it though, because like
I was just reading.
Damn.
because it floats or be-
Damn.
I was reading.
Chris Howard's throwing shade.
I know, it sounds funny.
Now, were
Shady
you all
Monday.
surprised? Zoe, were you surprised that they got a deal?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah?
that they didn't.
They got one because Mark.
Oh, they got-
Mark. They got one.
With Mark, yeah, which is great for licensing.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can do
Yeah.
it.
Which, by the way, they got two offers. Mark, 100K for 25%. Lori, 100K for 20%. Now, I do... This is the debate, right? Because Mark is asking for 5% more.
Right.
Lori
right.
has a big history with Bath & Beyond products, QVC, and such, which seems like a natural home for this. At the same time, Mark is in the sports world where
Yes.
beer is prominent.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you three this. Which one would you choose, Chris?
I think they were smart in choosing Mark. They
Yeah.
wanted the bro. They wanted
Yeah.
it was the love fest, just
Yeah.
like she
I think
said.
so.
That's they wanted
Yeah.
if they could do it with a billionaire
Yeah.
and Mark Cuban and a fun guy that was kind of like them.
Yeah.
That's where they
Yeah.
wanted to go. Yeah.
James, how about you?
I think either one would have been bad for them, so it was win-win. I think so, but I think they wanted Mark.
Yeah. Zoe?
Definitely.
I agree.
Okay.
I can't really add anything.
I
else
think
to
that I may have chose Lori.
Really?
Okay.
How come?
Yeah.
Do you have a woman crush
She-
on her?
I love Mark, but Lori just has a killer track record
does.
when it comes to Bed Bath & Beyond.
She does.
Like Scrub Daddy is huge.
They're
was
all
good.
over my local Bed Bath & Beyond.
They are, right?
Yeah.
They're all over.
I have Scrub
I
Daddy in
have
my
one
house.
too. I
Wow,
like
you
it.
guys are serious fans. I found how to pronounce koozie, but it has to say it, so I don't know if this is going to work or
Well,
not.
give it a shot. Koozie. See, I heard you.
Was that?
It did say koozie.
Say it.
Koozie.
Koozie!
It says
That is
koozie.
koozie.
That's
What
a koozie.
the heck?
Oh, it's
Wait.
koozie. Okay.
Koozie.
Who knew?
Who
would've
knew?
known?
Well, apparently you guys
All
knew.
right.
Yeah, you guys knew.
Well, let me ask you this. Beer Blizzard. Koozie. James Lott Jr., are you in or out?
I'm out.
Chris Howard.
Out.
Zoe Hewitt.
You'll be in.
I'll be into Zoe Hewitt.
Nice.
Yes.
Again.
We going drinking.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change. I'm in.
Yeah, we
Oh.
just want to be part of this high five.
I just wanted to be in the group.
That was a fear of missing out.
I know.
Right there. James Lott
Totally
Jr.
was.
Tell people about the Tomorrow Show.
Yes, Tomorrow Show. Oh my God, our fearless leader Kevin DeGarro started a new show last week, and it's on. Make sure it gets all correct, of course. make sure it's all correct. It's about a celebrity boyfriend's midlife crisis, but he's not really a boyfriend anymore because him and Maria Menounos, our other fearless leader, got engaged last week on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
So basically, it's him and a bunch of millennials doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's AfterBuzz leader Kevin DeGarro, Maria Menounos. Co-hosts here at AfterBuzz, Roxy Stryer and Ashley Daniels, and all kinds of people in the booth, doing all kinds of insanity every Monday and every Thursday. That's 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can do the Eastern Standard Time on your own. It's on the tomorrowshow.com, thetomorrowshow.com, all one word.com. You can subscribe. You can go and download it. It's also free on iTunes. I'm actually in the opening of the show.
He is a bit of a star.
I have 2 scenes. I'm in 2
it
scenes.
is.
There it is, 2 scenes. So if you want to see me at least, and then stay on and watch the show. for
Now,
Kevin-
would they call you an extra in that or a star? Because you didn't
star.
have. Okay.
He's always a star. Are you
Star.
kidding?
There's
you
no
have to ask
question
that
whatsoever. No question
You're
whatsoever.
not getting a high five from JLJ
No,
for that.
I'm like good night.
Oh my gosh, am I like tearing people apart?
Yes, you are. But yeah, so go to tomorrowshow.com. That's tomorrowshow.com for more information, for the intro, for promos, and for actual episodes. Tonight they had an episode also tonight, so they should have 3 episodes on there.
Have you watched it yet?
Yeah, I have watched it.
How was it?
I saw it.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Tonight they had Farrah Abraham on it.
Yeah, from
Okay.
Teen Mom.
Teen Mom.
So that should tell you
Yeah.
something. And other stuff.
And other stuff.
Teen Mom and other
Other
stuff.
stuff. Okay.
Well, thanks, James. I want to tell you all about a little show called The Catch.
Oh, tell us.
You've heard about this one, Chris.
The catch I've heard about, but I
Yes.
have yet to really hear the.
Well, let me tell you got to mark your calendar because
Okay.
Thursday, March 24th, ABC, it's the series premiere of TGIT's Twisty New Drama. Not to be
Twisty.
confused with Thirsty New Drama,
Yeah.
which is almost what I said.
Thirsty.
It's called The Catch from executive producers of Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Love that show. Comes the story of a private investigator and a con man who were never supposed to fall in love.
Oh, but
Dun,
they do.
dun,
Like
Right?
a Tinder date I once had. The Catch stars the killings, Mireille Enos, and Parenthood's Peter Krause. Enos plays LA's top PI, that's Private Eye, one woman you don't want to mess with, so when her fiance, played by Krause, takes her for millions and then disappears, she will stop at nothing to catch her man.
Well, you wouldn't, would you?
Game on.
Yeah.
Game on.
As her hunt begins, it quickly turns into an intoxicating, clever game of cat and mouse. We're all familiar with that. Think of it as Romeo and Juliet kind of love in a sexy, suspenseful James Bond world. Sean Connery, no Sean Connery, you decide, America. So grab
Yeah.
some red wine, get your Twitter thumbs ready, and settle in for TGIT's thrilling, seductive new drama, The Catch, premiering Thursday, March 24th, 10/9 Central on ABC, which is the very same network as Shark Tank.
And both actors are really, really good actors. Peter
They are
Krause was
indeed.
on 6 Feet Under, Sports
That's
Night,
right.
and then Muriel Elston, of course, was great in The Killing. So
Yeah.
it's a good show.
Killing's a great show.
Good
And
show.
if anybody knows, James Lott Jr. knows because he knows everything. He's here all day long.
I'm here all night. Not have been today. I've been here since
right.
11 o'clock this morning.
Let's
is
talk
my
about a
fifth
little
show.
business called Vengo,
Vengo.
seeking $2 million for 12.5%. This is the vending machine question mark of the future. Chris Howard, first thoughts.
First thoughts. I saw like the whole plan was unfolding. How they were going to make their money. They set it up right in terms of the reveals and the presentation. You
Yeah.
know, like you're not going to like this. That was a good way to segue into there's no money that's made on the initial sale. It's a $2,500 cost of goods sold plus, and they're only going to sell it for $2,500 for this vending machine thing. And they're going to make their money on the back end, but they're really going to make their money off the advertising, which got really
Convoluted.
Yeah, convoluted and confusing for
Yeah.
everybody. And I was confused, and I don't see it. Lori said the same thing. If you're going to take up that space on the wall, it might as well be full length.
Right.
And why not have it just be a vending machine? I get that things
See,
get stuck, but
That's my biggest question
Yeah.
because it feels more invasive to have to cut a hole in a wall
right, exactly.
to
yeah,
put
I
a
thought the
vending machine
exact
in
same
than
thing.
just to place
Yeah.
a vending machine.
Right, and
Wait.
where are they going to put all the stuff? And they can only put a certain size.
Right.
And yeah.
But why do they have to cut a hole in the wall? Can't they
Has to hang it, right?
Well, I mean, you could hang it on a nail.
For wiring and stuff, I would assume.
Then you could cut a small hole.
Yeah. It's still, I mean, I don't know.
Like a little.
I mean, I'm not being
surgery or
disagreeable. I
something.
just hadn't thought of it in
100%.
terms
I was
of-
thinking,
It's
but
probably not crazy. It's probably not a
Yeah.
crazy installation,
Yeah,
but
it
it
may
still
not-
seems like
yeah.
it's one, maybe 2 steps too far.
I guess you have to
don't
make
know.
sure no one takes it off the wall now that you say that, because I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Why are you thinking of taking it?
That's true.
Well, I mean, like with a big vending machine, they chain them in too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And who thinks you could steal a big vending machine? I mean,
Did,
no.
did anybody think it was odd? I did. I don't want to prelude that question with already telling you how to feel, but I thought it was odd that they said their quote.
Did you snort?
Does anybody hate Venga? No, I don't hate these guys. They seem great, but they said quote they're a software and digital media company. That seemed odd to me.
Okay.
They're a vending machine company.
Well, they were kind of both, I guess. It
Yeah.
was weird. Because it was confusing, I'm out.
You're out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
No,
very
it was completely
confused.
confusing because there were two different things. It was like, yeah, well, they do they're an ad company too, but they're not. They're got products in there, but only a certain
Only
size.
tiny products.
Wasn't that
Makes me
weird?
think of what you buy in the bathroom,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Bathroom products.
Exactly.
And I didn't see condoms on there,
Those
or
are
the
pretty small. though.
aspirins or anything.
Depends on what kind you buy, I guess.
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, but it's kind of Richard Branson said any idiot can be. I'm paraphrasing here. Any idiot can build something complex. It takes real brilliance to build something simple.
Yeah.
And the simplicity just isn't there. It's like I'd get lost in that, and it'd
Yeah.
be too scary.
I just don't understand why this can't exist in vending machines that already exist. Like there are
See, I
lots
agree.
of big electronic vending machines. So
But don't they,
that
when you see the
exists.
Cokes and stuff, and you see the Sprites and those types of things, don't they exist already? Don't
That's
they
what I'm
have
saying. They
pictures? Yeah,
exist, so why can't you use the add a screen and technology to put in an ad? I'm not sure why.
Well, also the cost and the
Right.
to make and to is the same. It was like there was no difference. It's
Yeah,
25,000.
wasn't that a thing? Like, so there was
2,500,
2,500, right?
That was 25,000. That's 25. Well, either way, they're
2,500.
the same.
Either way, they're break even at that. Their sales were 1 million, but they're in a deficit of 300K.
Yeah, well, when they said they were making $20 a month, that seemed ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And then I think they were placing the advertisement ridiculously high, so things did. and
Wait,
they-
The microwave
did you
just
say
turned back
20?
on.
I had it at
Is that the microwave?
200. I had it that they
Get
make
with the wrong
200 a
numbers.
month.
200. Okay, was it
200?
200?
200.
200 a month. It's still small for for a monthly fee. 200 a month doesn't seem like a whole lot.
It
So
doesn't.
all the revenue is coming from the advertising that they're selling to to these vendors. It's just too convoluted for me. I don't know how you do the finances.
Yeah, I mean, I don't deny necessarily that these guys have something going, because I think my biggest issue with this, I don't understand it. I was trying to think about this one in terms of if I enter a room and try to pitch this business to somebody else, I would have no idea where to start.
Yeah, same
Right.
here. Yeah, same here.
And they'd
I thought it was-
they'd have to say no because we. Could,
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that they kept, like, one of the first things they said was how sleek their design was and things like that. Did we feel that it was sleek?
No.
I liked the
It was
interface.
nice.
The
Yeah,
interface
it
was
fine.
nice.
It was sleek.
But there was something about, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked like there was graffiti on it, right?
It looks like a nice box.
A
but it
box.
is a
That's what it looked
box.
like.
I
Like a
mean,
box.
no different in that regard from another vending
Another
machine.
vending, yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
it
true.
looked like-
Very
Right,
true.
right, exactly.
And
Very true.
I know I've mentioned before, so I used to live in Japan, and Japan is like the home of vending machines.
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, you
Yes.
can buy
That's right.
anything in vending
Yeah.
machines in Japan, including, actually, incidentally, I just posted this photo on my Instagram, including underwear. So, and it used to be used underwear. It was a big fetish,
No.
and they actually made it
Ah!
illegal.
No.
No joke.
Oh,
so,
my God.
so I
It
had
was a
actually
fetish?
convinced, yes, so I'd
To bu-
actually convinced a friend of mine to travel like an hour to find this vending machine.
Oh
So
my
anyway,
goodness.
my point is, vending machines are so widespread there. Even here, I've seen more and more vending machines.
You heard about the
Yeah.
burrito one? There's one here in
about
West Hollywood, the burrito vending machine. You can get actually a full burrito.
And
Wow.
you can get cupcakes from the
See,
Sprinkles vending
no
machine.
Sprinkles.
See, I think
Sprinkles.
that's where
It's
the
at.
future's
Yeah,
at.
that's where it's at.
Burritos.
Yes,
Burritos and cupcakes.
I've used the Sprinkles cupcake one, the 24-hour ATM. I have.
Oh, I would use that. That's.
I mean, I have.
I
I
miss
disagree.
crumbs though; they were better than Sprinkles.
I disagree completely.
No,
Which one?
Crumbs.
crumbs was
Not-
better. They had that amazing grasshopper cupcake with
Nah,
mint.
I disagree.
Oh, so
That's
good.
Pretty
disagree.
partial to Betty
those
Crocker
ones.
in a box.
Dunkin'
Off topic,
Donuts.
I realized. So I just think this vending machine already exists. So I don't even need to wait.
Yeah.
I'm with JLJ. I'm out.
Oh, whoa.
They like that I said that. It's confusing. I'm out. They like that. Zoe's stories are great.
Thank you, you
Well,
two.
but the used underwear, did you buy used underwear too?
It was
Tell
actually
the
really
truth.
expensive. No, it's illegal to
so
put
you
used
didn't buy the
underwear.
used underwear.
So the
Yeah.
underwear vending machine had only new underwear in it,
Yeah.
and I did not buy it because it was expensive, and I was a college student, and I was like, I'm not spending this much money on ugly underwear. It wasn't even great.
Got it.
I still say that now. James Lott Jr., are you in or out?
You know, I am so out. Out.
Chris Howard.
Out.
Yeah, I'm going to be out on this one as well.
Do we all want a group high five?
Yeah.
Turns out, though, we are alone in that because
we?
there were a couple of people who wanted
Yes.
to be in on this.
We went back and forth.
I
There's
couldn't believe
a
it.
bunch of different options. So Kevin, he throws out another one of his debt deals.
He
Those
loves
are
those.
interesting.
$2 million,
Yes.
6% equity,
Yes.
3-year return at 7% interest. They counter back at a staggering $2 million, 7% interest at 1% equity, which, oh
He
my
couldn't
Lord.
say. They couldn't say yes to. How do you say yes?
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, they couldn't say yes.
So and they go back and forth a bunch of times. Lori ends up coming in with Kevin. They counter back and forth. They eventually offer
God.
Kevin and Lori offer them 3.5%, and they counter at 2.5%. Right here, and then Lori and Kevin say 3. I'm like, you guys, we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think they really wanted the money even?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
didn't
to say.
understand
It's
that
like-
either, that they were splitting hairs over 0.5% even, and that they
Yeah.
agreed so low. It was a 3% in the
Yeah.
end,
3,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Which
They're going to walk away over 0.5%, and then you wonder, who's this person going to be like to do business with if they're they're nickel and diming over?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think, and again, there's no offense against the Venco guys, but I
Right.
think that Lori and Kevin saw an opportunity to make money off of interest here,
yes.
right.
and that's
Oh.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, anyways. That's
You're right,
Venco
because for
you.
them, even that's only 1.5% each. That's nothing.
Right, that's nothing.
Yeah.
$2
No.
million
For them?
dollars.
I know.
Yeah, but the 7% interest rate, it's kind of interesting how they're structuring these interest deals with 7%, so you're going to do better than you do with a bond or with something
Yeah.
that's fairly simple. If you were to take, Warren Buffett says most people would be better off putting their money in an index fund, like investing in the Dow Industrial Average, rather than with a managed fund manager, because the index funds have outperformed managed funds over time, and they usually, and historically, they've done about 10%. So if you take 7%. You don't have the volatility of the index funds in the stock market. You've got a fairly certain revenue stream that's coming in, and then you own that aspect of the business. But to only own 1% afterwards, that's really
Yeah,
unusual.
that's-
I don't know about these deals. It's interesting the numbers though that they're throwing out.
Yeah, it is. I think whenever. I think the last season or two on Shark Tank too, we've seen more and more companies come in at an ask of like 5% equity.
Right.
With a valuation that's kind of
Ridiculous.
way
Yeah,
overboard.
'cause they would ask
Yeah.
in the beginning of the show, the beginning seasons of the show was way more like, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yes.
They've dropped that a lot.
It
Now
would
it's
be-
like 2%.
Right.
And
Do
you
$5
think
million.
though- Do you
The
think they're
average
just
used to
looking for the
be-
TV time?
Absolutely.
So I think it's a couple different. I think absolutely that.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that we see more of these venture debt offers is
Right.
because of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're going, these guys aren't just going to come in here, Shark Tank gold diggers as they're called.
I haven't heard that term before.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, that's a term. Yeah, it's a term.
And I think that's a way of, the sharks not wasting their time.
Right.
It's saying,
Right.
hey, if you're coming in here, here's some venture
You still got to
debt,
count on those people being able to pay off the debt.
That's what I was
And
thinking
that's
too.
yeah.
You are
right.
still taking a big risk
Right.
with
Yeah.
$2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I'm like, get weird if I have to lend $1 to somebody for a Coke.
I know.
I
I
told
asked
you
you
I'd
for
give
a
it
quarter
back.
before the show.
For a can of custard stand chili. So that's Vengo. Let's move on to the Good Promise. $100,000 for 20% smoothie squeezes. And we have some vegetable products here. James Lott Jr., first thoughts?
For me, because I do like stuff like this, there's
Yeah.
a lot of things in the market, and the cold pressed juice market's really in right now too. I didn't see anything that different. I mean, I just was like, another product in the market. So I was kind of curious. They didn't really address that either. They addressed the other stuff. I'm always for this kind of stuff, anything organic and natural. I like the kind of stuff, but I was just like, I didn't see anything that was any different than
Yeah.
what's out there already.
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
think?
totally with James. And the interesting thing is that she had this She had what, like $245,000 or $260,000 in sales already.
260, yeah.
Yeah, 260. With the what was it? It was like
The
a
pasta.
marinara sauce,
pasta
right?
sauce, yeah.
It's like a
With the
pasta,
pasta
sauce,
sauce.
that had the
Yeah.
extra vegetables and stuff. But the margins were so low. It was like 25% margins, I think.
Yeah, she said
23%.
23%, and she was selling it at $4.99.
And she was selling at $4.99, which was high in relationship to the other marinara type sauces out there.
Yeah, Francisco Rinaldi, $2.85. I mean,
Yeah, which
I thought $4.99 was a normal price. Maybe I
That's
buy
pretty
fancy
high.
pasta
That's pretty
sauce.
high.
it seems to me that where she was, because she's branching off into all these different things, into juices, and then she wants to, and it's like Mark said, she wants to conquer the world, and she's done no sales of these things because one aspect of the business isn't working, and that just sounds like a recipe for disaster to me.
Yeah.
But, I think if I were in her place, I'd focus on the core product and finding out how to manage the margins on it and actually make some money, rather than trying to go out all over the place and unknown ventures and.
yeah, I think
Way too
I
much
would agree
risk.
with that. And I think the biggest point, or the point that I agreed with the most in this pitch was Damon's point, which was if you're talking about juices, this is a business that people want to customize. Like as a customer, you want to go into these juice places and say, hey, I want carrots, I want ginger root, I want chili. Put it in there and mix it all up. I want carrots.
chocolate
Custard
cake in
Sam has a
there.
new idea.
And so now you have to
Sprinkle
get to a
cupcakes.
point where you're choosing between sprinkles. You're choosing between 3 or 4 of them, which there's probably a business for that somewhere, right? V8 does that. You know what though? I'm gonna get nitpicky on this one. I loved the woman pitching this, by the way. I just want to say that
Yeah, she
up
was okay.
front. She was great.
She had cleavage.
Oh my goodness.
That's the only thing I know.
How are you guys evaluating this?
I know. In all seriousness, I look at everything. I look at news guys, guys,
I mean, it's all part of the
guys
pitch, though.
and girls. No, guys and girls. I look at everything. I look at how they're dressed. I look at their logo. I look at how they present themselves. Like the one guy earlier, he was like so stone faced. I look at everything, and that's the one
he
thing.
was, wasn't he?
In all
Yes.
seriousness, that's what I noticed about her
It's
was
the full
that
package.
she was very, very. I saw cleavage and a cute dress on, and I saw that, and her hair was all slick back. Like it's a look she was trying to come across as.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't sure if it was a all natural look, but I saw that's what I saw. I was like, I don't know, kids. I look at all that. I do. I have no shame. You can write to me about it. I don't care. But when you come on the show, but like I said, you have a product that to me, you have pasta sauce and you have juice. First of all, I'm confused. First of all, because I'm like, well, are you selling the pasta? You're having them taste the juice, not the pasta sauce.
Yeah, that's.
Like, you shouldn't have them taste both. Like, this is my product line. It was like, I always get, when people do that, when they have one product and suddenly you find they have another product, I'm always out after that.
Yeah, and they're
It's
trying to
just
sell you
confusing,
on
yeah.
one rather than the other.
Yeah, completely confused. Why don't you sell me on both? Like, why don't you sell me on like a lifestyle?
Right.
Where you sell me all the products, it's kind of a lifestyle.
You know what? Oddly enough, the biggest hiccup I had with this one was the fact that the juice is in these pouch bottles.
Doesn't bother
You
me.
didn't like that, huh?
It doesn't bother most people.
Yeah.
I think I'm a freak. I hate drinking out of those things.
All right.
Why?
Like if you ever I just like the
Like a Capri Sun pouch?
No, I mean, well, a little bit like
Yes.
at the Jimbo Slice in the booth, by the way. We like those water bottles that are flat
Yes,
until you fill
that's
them.
what I was thinking of actually.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But you can always squeeze it into
Reminds me of
a-
an IB bag.
But you can always squeeze it.
God, now that
Oh
you
my
say
God,
that.
really?
Yes.
Now that you say that.
I buy organic tangerine juice
Uh-huh.
from Ralph's that comes in those little pouches, and I squeeze it into a glass and drink out of it.
Okay. Well.
I was curious. I mean, it was pretty much
Valid.
unanimous
I do.
across the board, right? That no one liked it, which stood out to me a
The
little
flavor.
bit. I mean, I don't know. I was really curious what it tasted
Yeah,
like
they
because
all
they
seemed
pretty
to-
much did not like it.
Yeah.
The problem I would have with this, I guess, I mean, it's good to eat healthy. That's
Yeah.
great, and I don't eat enough vegetables, so great. But everything I've seen says that if you drink things, your stomach doesn't catch up with your brain to tell you you're full, which is why, like, sometimes, like, I'll drink Jamba Juice or something, and then you don't think you're full because you suck it down,
Yeah.
and then you haven't chewed, you haven't eaten anything. So, I mean, I guess the only problem with this, then, is you just eat more vegetables than you need. So it's not necessarily bad, I guess, if you follow it up with more veggies, but I can see that you drink your veggies and then you don't realize you're full, you've eaten.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, I just know this market is big right now, and there's a couple places in
Yeah.
LA that I go to that I actually
Yeah.
go to. I get my juices and stuff.
Where do you frequent, James Lott Jr.?
There's one place I like to go to that's in Mid City. It's like on 3rd and I want to say Fairfax.
Erewhon?
Area. No, no. Like, no.
There are a bunch in
What is it
Pasadena,
called?
too.
Yeah.
It's really popular.
And there's also Creatine, a place that there's a bunch of those, and there's one in Beverly Hills that's really good on.
Do you go to the places where you can custom order
Yes,
juicers?
that's
Okay.
it. Yeah, they have some that are pre-made, and they have some that are custard.
Yeah.
Customed at the same time, and that's my turn, I guess. But I mean, it is a big market, so I have no problem faulting her trying to get into that. I just was like, it just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. I feel
Wasn't
that.
impressed.
Yeah.
She wasn't selling what she had done. It's like a right angle turn that it's like, well, if she's not selling what she's done, there's got to be a problem, which means she's heading into some place that she doesn't know anything about and wanting money for it.
Yeah, and to that point that you guys are making, it's like it's no different in my mind than going in, say you're really successful selling pogo sticks, Zoe. You
course
go
I
in,
And she could be when you think about it. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you go in to pitch, you have your business, you go, well, I sold 10 million last year in pogo sticks. And they're like, oh, that's great. And you go, but I'm going to sell skateboards this year.
Right.
And I'm not going to cut you in on the pogo sticks. I want
This happened several times this season.
Which,
No,
on one hand, it's like,
though.
you are great, because obviously you can find success, but with a specific product, I don't know if it'll work. What were you going to say? Zoe?
I just disagree. You guys are so much on this 2 different product kick, and I'm like,
Really?
They're both high veggie products. I don't understand why you think these are
Apples
so
and
different.
oranges.
That's what she thought.
Really?
That's what she was. That was what was
They
behind where
really
she was
are.
coming from. But it's still a different market. It's a different target market. It's a different. The people that buy one doesn't necessarily
That's
buy
true.
the other. Yeah.
Generic question. What do we think of the name, The Good Promise?
It's fine.
I like it.
Maybe I don't love it.
This she goes out. We're all that. I'm like, we're like, that's okay. The name's
Because
fine.
what does it mean? Like,
She waits for us to respond, and then
No, the good. Well, no, I mean, it's kind of cheese, but I mean, there's a lot of products that are like they have those kind of names.
Actually, it's
like,
veggies, but yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but I had no problem with the good. I mean, thank you. I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, kind of, but I'm like, that doesn't bother me so much. That's like the what's the Walgreens brand? Nice.
Nice.
Really?
It's kind of crazy, but I mean,
Yeah.
Nice is fine, I guess. That's
I mean,
a,
Target,
Great
I guess,
value
is up and
is,
up.
yeah, but it's kind of they're.
Yeah.
But that's different when you have a brand like Target that's already so well established, or Archer Farms. that's a
everybody's got to
Target
start
brand.
someplace.
Yeah,
That's
I
true,
don't know.
that's true.
The Good Promise, I don't understand this.
Well, the good promise is because she's giving you twice as much veggies, and she's sliding them in when you don't.
no, I
know.
get the concept.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I would
Did you see the look in her eye? And she's
like,
like,
no,
"No,
I got
I
it.
get the concept. Thank you."
I'd
Such
also
disdain.
like to add, speaking of veggies, if you grind up cauliflower with your mashed potatoes, you can't taste a difference, and it's amazing. It's a really good way
Well,
to
have you
add
ever had
veggies.
cauliflower mashed potatoes? They're
That's
really
what I
good.
just said.
I mean, but no, I'm saying no. Let me clarify, everybody. Without the potatoes, I've had
just
cauliflower.
What about the cheese?
the cauliflower.
We just said
You said mixed potatoes and cauliflower.
No veggies, right? No
Oh,
veggies.
that's not mashed potatoes.
But you're saying it tastes like
We're
mashed
saying say what's called cauliflower, mashed cauliflower, whatever it's called. It's really good.
But if you put the cheese in, it's not healthy.
No, actually, I got the idea
Sorry.
because Chris Sacca, he invested in that veggie grill, and there's one in Pasadena,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where I tried those cauliflower
Oh,
potatoes, and then I was
okay.
like, I can do this at home.
Yeah.
Chris
That's-
Chris Sacca.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Anyway,
I like that guy.
All right. Well, the
just
Good
cauliflower.
Promise. Zoe Hewitt, are you in or are you out?
now.
We know.
After all that, you're out.
Seriously?
If I could taste it and it was good, I could maybe be in, but right
Okay.
now I'm out.
All
She's
right.
out. Okay.
I'm out.
James.
Well, you know how I feel about it.
So you're in.
Exactly. No, I'm out.
Wait, Cam, in or out?
I
Did you
am
answer?
out. I am out.
Is this like
that
another
is the
group high
good
five?
promise I will give you.
Good promise.
Is that I am out.
I don't mind the name. That's all about it.
Let me remind before we move into Wonderside, everybody to subscribe to our podcast. iTunes, again, thank you for the review. Kind review we got. We read at the top of the show. Give us 5 stars. Google all of us as well. You'll find something very fun.
Yeah.
I assure you.
You may
Now,
find things you don't want to, and
If you
I wasn't there in
search-
Tijuana.
We have lots of things going on in iTunes here in the iTunes are at AfterBuzz TV. So
Yeah.
go ahead, look there, subscribe. Wonderside, which I have to be honest, I thought it was going to be a water park when she first said it. It sounds like a water slide. 500K for 5%.
If it was, I would have been in.
Yes, this is a bug repellent with no water base that is not harmful to your pets and or other living creatures.
Well, except the ones you want to kill.
Except the ones you want to kill. Very valid. Very
That
valid.
was
Thank
good.
you.
That was good.
Thank you, James.
I even got a.
You
Zoe,
did.
what do you think of Wonderside?
I like the concept. My question is how often you have to reapply it. Because, for instance, with Advantage, it's once a month, but I don't think they ever established how frequently you have to put it on your pet. So I definitely like the idea. And actually, when they showed that testing, I was very impressed how it showed like the bed bugs and the flies and the ticks and the fleas and everything. I mean, what on earth is in this product?
Yeah, I know.
Killing them in
Honestly, it was pretty staggering when she said other bug repellents have 95% water.
Yeah.
No, it's
And there was
interesting.
no water in this.
But
Which
I don't
makes you
get why.
think.
But why is that a big selling point? That's like saying any, for instance, kitchen cleaner has water in it. Of course it does. That's why
Right.
you can buy concentrates of like
That is
Windex,
true.
for instance.
But this is like
Right.
the active
Who cares if there's
ingredient
water?
that's they're saying it's more potent.
But I don't understand.
But
as long
also
as it
water's
doesn't
good
dry.
for you.
Kill them better.
Is water killing people? Wait a second.
It is if you're in Flint, Michigan.
That's true. That is very
We'll be
true.
right back.
Twice in one night.
That's
We'll be right back with more in the Flint water crisis after this. James, is this something you'd use? You have a dog.
I do a Scrabble.
Yeah.
I do like to use things that are organic, and I use stuff on him because he's a small dog, older dog, and he gets allergies sometimes. So I have to try to find like the organic things to help him. Possibly. I mean, I wasn't totally sold on them, but possibly I'd use it.
Tell you what, though, their sales speak for themselves.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, what were they at?
4 million.
4 million
4 million,
total.
yeah, they were
3 to 3.5 this year is what
yeah.
they're projecting. 75% of that the pet application. 80% of that sales online. 35% of that 80 Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Which, to be honest, I find that a staggering number.
Well,
35% on Amazon, because Amazon is like the Walmart of the internet
Yeah.
times 4,000 in my
Yeah.
opinion, and so to be able to stand apart in any way from any other thing on Amazon, I think is a pretty big accomplishment.
I bet you they're doing it. They're driving traffic in some way. They can't
To Amazon?
Yeah, to Amazon, to
Yeah.
the sales portal. Because I can't imagine people just stumbling upon it and finding it. And that's I don't see many companies whose marketing works that
Yeah.
way.
But if you're just searching, like, pest control or flea control, I mean, if it comes up.
Right. Yeah, it can come up in the
So-
SEO stuff, but my bet is they've got to actively do something to market, to drive the traffic and
Some
make that
kind of
happen.
thing, yeah.
It's a good product. We should get them together with a spritz, and they could do like a 3-in-1.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea.
Kill your ticks,
You know what?
freshen your breath, and wash
He's
your
on here
hands.
right now. What do you think, Spritz? You're already on here. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get custard stand chili to go
Yeah.
4-way. Get the custard stand chili flavored spritz spray for your bug repellent on the dog.
And then your dog would not stop licking itself.
Yeah.
I actually like this product. I thought it was really neat. What I would need to see are some stats on other products that were 95% of the
Right.
potent ingredient. Because I'm wondering, are they the only ones out there like that, or are there others? And there's likely to be others, but their sales were really good. And I think at the end, they just didn't know what they didn't know what they needed to do. I get Mark's point about you go hire a salesperson to go pitch to these things. You're heading into territory you don't know. I think Mark was spot on, and they didn't know where to go, but the Sharks could bring them and help them to make the retail connections that would get it out there. They had it in Walmart. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Spritz said we're nuts.
Nice.
He's laughing.
We
Said
apologize.
They never told us, right, how much it costs either. And did they? I don't have that anywhere.
Not me either. I don't know either.
Because
No,
that's
they-
another big
yeah.
question. Because
Yes.
the pest control stuff gets expensive, especially
it
when you
does.
have multiple animals. Like I have 2 cats and a dog at
Okay,
home, and
yeah.
and even though the cats are indoor only, I like to make sure they get the pest control
Sure.
because I hate fleas. Like I'm really allergic. They bite me. And
Yeah,
they're
me too.
So,
Same way.
They're not fun.
so I'm putting it on 3 animals. So if I have to spend a fortune more, like man.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Whatever that cost is, though, 70% margin is where they're at, which is
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
dang
Yeah.
high.
It's true.
They ended up getting a deal. Damon gave him an offer of $500K for 15%. We got another offer from Kevin
Yes.
that was debt. $500K, 6.75 royalty. I guess it's not really debt. It's technically a royalty, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Until he gets his 1.5 million.
Until you get $1.5 million, then the 1.5 that royalty is gone. He gets 3% equity. Lori gave them an offer, $500K, 50 cents per unit sold until that $500K is recouped, and then a 3% equity. Of these 3 deals, I agree with the deal that they ended up taking, which
Same
was
here.
with Lori. I was nervous they were going to lose it for a second.
Yeah, I
because
know.
they were kind of going back and forth for a bit.
Anytime you leverage the things like that too, if you've got a monthly nut that you've got to cover because you've got this outgoing debt payment, that
That's
puts a
hard,
lot
yeah.
of burden on the entrepreneur. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to do that before, and it wasn't
You really?
nice. I don't enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I do think, though, that of the two, between Lori and Kevin, we'll take Damon out of the equation for a second, but between Lori and Kevin, it seems to be a lesser burden.
Lesser
burden.
Yeah.
If you're recouping the $500K instead of 3 times the original
Yeah.
investment.
Yeah.
Kevin just throws those out there sometimes.
I know he does.
See who
Anybody
bites.
bite
See who
it.
bites.
But let's
why
go
he's
around
got
the
those.
let's go around the horn here. James Lott Jr., in or you out?
I'm out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Howard.
So, what was the price point again? They're asking.
They didn't tell us.
500K.
Or what they wanted, the
Oh, what they
500K.
want.
For 5% is what they
for
were
five-
asking.
For 5%.
5%.
Yeah, initially, yeah, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty
that-
steep. 10 mil.
I like it. I like the product, and I think it does have. They had the capacity to grow it, but not at that valuation.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Okay, Zoe.
I'm gonna be in.
Oh, okay.
See, you
I
know
am.
what? I'm gonna agree with Zoe on this one. I'm gonna be in too, Zoe.
Okay.
We got a twofer. Here's the
There you
thing. This is something that I don't know about, right? But based on the numbers alone, I'm like, okay, here's the money.
Take me.
Go make some money.
Yeah.
Make me rich.
I have no idea how to grow this business.
Yeah.
But here is $1 bajillion for you.
But
on
this
your
could be a
side.
You'd give a
QVC
bajillion?
product
Could be.
easily. It could be a Bed Bath and Beyond product.
It
People
could.
spend a lot of money on
Totally.
their pets.
I like the
100%.
product a lot. I just
Yeah.
with the valuation, that was the hard part that I would say. Boy, 500,000 for only 500. How much percentage did Lori end up getting? Was it
3.
3%.
Oh,
She went
yeah.
down.
I mean, what do you
What's
do? But
three,
the 50 cents.
What's 3% of 3 million?
I don't know.
What is that? 3% to 3 million is
Let me
3.
see. Thank you. Thank you. I was
you.
going to ask for that. How did you know?
God, I do.
30,000?
Let's see here.
No.
3% times
Nine-
0.03.
nine-
90,000.
90,000. Yeah.
So that's not
So based
much.
on the current sales, she would have been 90 grand.
That's not much
There
for
it
her.
is.
But on an annual. Well, but that's on current sales.
that's
not on
before
net.
taxes.
That's not on net profit.
So she makes
she's
about
only
$4. That's okay. That's okay.
But she's safe because she got her 50 cents per unit. So it's essentially debt financing, and at the end she gets the spiff.
Wait, how many units, since you have your calculator, do they need to sell at 50 cents a unit to recoup
To pay her back?
500,000? That's a lot of units, right?
500,000. How do I do
I thought you said
that?
a million.
Divided by
I thought it was a million units.
million, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
million units.
Oh, yeah, duh.
But at the end,
They
at the end-
they actually said it.
Oh, we don't know how much it is. I was going to say, well, how
We don't know
many
how much it is.
in a million units?
I've seen
would that
worse
equal
interest
for
rates.
her?
I've seen worse interest rates though, 6 to 7% for an entrepreneur that's growing an entity. It's not. That's not.
Wait, what are you two laughing about?
I'm laughing because that was simple math and I just flubbed it.
But also they said it on the show. They
Yeah,
said
they
it.
said
They said
it,
a
yeah.
million. That's what it is.
Hey, own it, own it, own
My
it.
goodness. There are your 4 businesses for episode 22. Now, because it's one of his favorite products, I'm going to
Yes.
have James Lott Jr. tell you about this week's update.
Yes, the update. Love Pop, and I keep trying to convince people. I want one for my birthday. I
I'll
want
get
a
you
card.
one.
In 2 months.
In 2 months, May 10th is my birthday. I'll be
May
46.
10th.
My
I'll be.
birthday's May 20th.
You're Taurus too? Oh, how
I'm on the cusp.
Oh, my birthday's in 2 days.
My birthday's May
What?
2nd.
I'm
Wait,
March
James, you're a
24th.
Taurus too?
Yes, I am.
That's
You're
why
a
that's
Taurus?
where we get along. Perfect. What Taurus?
My daughter's a Taurus. I just saw her this weekend. That was
I owned
You're
a Taurus. I owned a
On the
Ford
cusp.
What are
Taurus.
you?
What?
When's
What's
your
that?
birthday?
Leo?
You're Leo.
Wait, when's your birthday?
July
Aries.
31st.
She's
Same
Leo.
as Harry Potter.
Yes,
Really?
Leo.
Harry Potter.
I have the same birthday as The Rock.
Hey, I have the same
Rock too.
birthday as Bono.
I have my birthday is the date that Superman versus Batman comes out.
Ooh, okay.
That's pretty
That
impressive.
you know.
I love this.
So Love Pop was on earlier this season. I'll bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring
Bring
it
it
back
back.
this season. Greeting cards. They did. They had these beautiful pop-up cards. They're amazing to look
They're
at.
gorgeous.
I mean,
It's
they're
like
amazing.
origami. It almost
Yes,
reminds
and
me of,
they're customizable and just anything you want. And I love them so much. And for 2 months they did $1 million in sales. It was just like amazing. And they got to deal with Kevin, so everything's going really well with them.
That's
And
pretty
so-
amazing. Did
yeah.
they get the distribution after the deal with Kevin when they made the?
Probably.
That's-
They didn't say.
Yeah,
They probably
yes.
That's amazing.
I
They
think
made
so
300.
because they worked through
Yeah.
what is called his Something Wonderful.
Yes.
Something. Yeah.
Which is, it's so interesting to me that Kevin is behind Something Wonderful.
I know.
The wedding. Because he says, like, it's the businesses that reminds everybody about love and all these Vegas. It's like, Kevin,
it's so
you're the
counter-
coldest person on the show.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
You think he's a softie at heart?
Yes, I
Yes.
think that's the role he plays. He talks about his wife a lot, and
Yes.
it feels like he talks about her very lovingly, too.
Really? So,
Yeah.
Part
He
of the
did
show.
threaten to
Yeah.
kill a chihuahua.
He did. I was upset about that. I was like, no, not Scrabble's cousin. Not Scrabble's cousin.
Oh, Yo Quiero Shark Tank. All
Yes.
right, James Lott Jr., tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me. I actually have like 10 shows this week, so you can find me all through AfterBuzz TV, BlackHollywoodLive.com, and Popcorn Talk. All of our networks have shows on all of them this week. But you can follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere in the interwebs.
Wow. He consolidated. He read it all together. That's awesome. I'm Chris Howard. You can find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter as well as Instagram. You can also find me at Legendary Living Daily for tips, motivation, different types of things like that. LegendaryLivingTV.com for YouTube. And follow The Prophet as well. So we're doing the AfterBuzz show for The Prophet, where we break down how Marcus Lemonis turns around businesses, which is awesome. So check those out.
It's a good show.
I'm Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting. As we talked about earlier, I do a weekly movie analysis show, and it's up to you now, Cam.
Oh, at the Only Cam Shop, Twitter and Instagram. You can find me Wednesdays at the Popcorn Talk Network doing Guilty Movie Pleasures, as well as a handful of other things here at AfterBuzz TV. A couple months from now, James Lott Jr. and I are returning to Zoo,
Yes, Zoo!
which I'm very excited
June
about.
28th, we're excited with Jordana Morphin. We're so excited
That's
our show. Hashtag Watch the Monkeys.
Hashtag Watch the Monkeys. Find me in iTunes at Radio Millennial and The Cameron Lewis Show. And big thanks again to Custard
Yes.
Stand Hot Dog
Yes.
Chili
Thank you.
for sending us some product. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.